Sort of double take. Dave, how? I just said joined by Dash, but we're joined by Dash
Talking
and
in
Dave.
the third person. That's
The
so
way
weird.
The way you feel.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. That was totally my fault. My computer just completely shot the bed just as we were going live, and then I had issues. Doesn't matter. The old rig over here, she might need to be put to rest eventually. But with me, to wallow in my own sorrow. No, tonight's a fun night. We have Reno from Culture with Reno Z. How's it going tonight?
Not too bad. Thank you for having me. What's going on to the lovely people in the chat?
Of
It's a
course.
pleasure.
Yes, let's see who's here. So of course, you came in. LJJ, Salcat, Dash. Dash letting us know that
he's coming in.
Yeah, I'm here. This Browns Texan game has absolutely no defense whatsoever. Do you watch the NFL there, Reno?
No, I've been just watching recently the Canucks, NHL, but I only for like soccer, Canucks. I love music, yes. Then I watch UFC, boxing, but NFL, NBA, no. Sorry.
Okay.
Not for me.
Anyway. Well, before we forget, because we always forget this stuff, right? We have to make sure. First off, please subscribe to the video. And Reno, how do people find you?
Well, you can find me on YouTube, Culture with Reno Z, then Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, X, it's called now. So you can find me there.
Awesome.
You have lots of fun and everything.
Awesome.
So thank you.
Okay, so we do have a few things to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
We will open up the lines a little bit, but I've been trying to get you on for a little bit.
I know.
It's been a couple of weeks. It was over the holidays, I think, that you randomly showed up on the channel, dropped a couple lines. I checked you out. We got busy, as we always do. But then I said, You know what? Why not? We got to do something. So we were talking this week, and it just turns out there's a storm and Dash is busy. So Reno, you said you got it. You're going to co-host with me tonight. So
I'm here.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you. No problem. Because I did told you I had to see with work, right? But work has been kind of slowed down. So I said I have the day off. Plus, I can't do nothing because there's still a little bit of snow and ice. So might as well deal with you guys. Great man, Trimboli, Anthony.
I think a couple guys that you brought over. Actually, I recognize these names because I do go on the different channels, and I think, yes, I've definitely seen some of these names anyways throughout the community. That's what this is all about anyways, is to try to branch out with the community, maybe share some viewership between the channels, help each other grow. And
yeah, that's good.
But more so just from the Juventus perspective, because right now, I think more so than anything, we got to band together, right? We're on this push. Inter, and we'll get into Inter as well.
Oh, man. I don't want to talk about that.
So,
oh, man.
This is it. The community is coming together, no matter what differences of opinion we have. And I mean, we might agree on a couple things here and there as well, but we're bringing those differences together because we got a championship to win. We got a Coppa Italia to win. So, Reno, thank you so much for coming in.
Well, like I said, thank you for coming. So, well, for inviting me. Sometimes my English
I had to show up too. I had to come.
No, like I said, I invite you over because next week I have some other invitations that I have to bring. But as soon as we have a chance, because with the hour change, right? So I'll try to make it up and we'll figure out.
So you're in Vancouver.
Yeah, I'm in Vancouver. It's 3 hours behind you guys, right?
Yeah.
So
but we keep on bringing Canadians. That's another theme. I think on your channel the other night too, because you had another guy from Toronto. It seemed
Yeah,
like there's a few in the
Tony
chat as well.
Trimble, he's on the chat. It was him and Santino Merenda. They're both from Toronto.
Okay, so Tony Trim was the guy that was on the chat there the other night. Is that where? That's
Yeah,
where I recognize him from.
Yeah, the guy that was with me, he's on the chat right now, Tony Trim. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's
He
who it is.
followed
All
you
right,
for
so I
a
got
while.
the face
He
now.
follows you guys for a while. Yeah, that's Tony
Awesome.
Trim, my paisano, I call him, especially Santino, which somehow it seems like he's an Inter fan, but it's okay.
Yes, and that's he's from Boston.
Mm.
No, that's
He's from Toronto.
Oh, who's the guy from
Santino.
Boston then?
Yeah, he's a Boston fan, but he's from Toronto.
Oh, but he's from that's weird. That's
I
really
know. But most of Toronto, even here in Vancouver, they all go for Boston or Chicago. So
that's weird. You can't be
I
from
know.
Toronto and go for Boston. That's just messed
There's
up.
a lot of them. Especially at Vancouver, people, my friends, they cheer for the Flyers, Chicago Blackhawks. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, nonsense. That's all nonsense. I don't get it.
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Well, it is Saturday night, so the hockey will be starting in a couple hours. Not quite yet. We'll go.
Well, the Canucks are already playing.
Yeah, Santino's confused and hates all Toronto sports teams.
And he kind of likes Inter. He always defends him. I know he's gonna kill me when I say that, but it's the truth.
So there you go. If you want to see Tony Trim, the confused Torontonian, check out Reno's channel there. You go live. You go live a few times a week as well. You went after the game.
I try. Well, this week I did it twice. I did one at 11 p.m. Eastern time, and then one when you came on Thursday. What's his name? When Tony Trim came in Santino, I did at 6. So I try my best, because before that I didn't do it for 2 weeks because with work and stuff like that. Now that I have the time, I do as much as I can. Which this week I might do one early. I might have a guest as well, so we'll see.
Oh, very nice. So there you go. If you need more Juve content, and if you want something that's not in this sort of time slot, I guess you're a good option then, because just being in the Pacific time zone, you kind of come in a lot earlier. So it works for some people.
Yeah, well, today I didn't mind, but like in my case, that's why I do it 8 o'clock, because the wife comes home at 6. I don't want to argue with the wife. So
no,
but like this week, I'm gonna do it early, like at 9 p.m. Eastern time, because I want to balance out, right? Because a lot of my subscribers are from Toronto, New York, from the East Side, so
yeah,
it's right.
There's a lot of WAPs in the Northeast. That's just where they
exactly. Yeah, exactly. I noticed that.
Nick yelling out Reno. Must be another one.
Yeah, my friend. Nick.
Nice.
Yeah, he's on my channel too. He's a referee, so.
Okay, referee. So not one of the bad referees from Serie A.
No, he's a good one. He's from New Jersey. He's with the Juventus Club of New York. He knows Marcella and company. So
okay, very cool.
He is in New Jersey, yeah.
Nice. So big community from. I don't know if we have anybody from the Jersey side that's coming yet. So maybe Nick's the first guy from the Jersey Shore. I don't know if we want to make the Jersey Shore jokes or not. Dash, that would be more Dash. Dash is
Dash.
the guy.
I'm not an expert on that.
He'd be going into that, but no, I'll refrain.
Right.
In Empire State. Okay, so nice.
Empire State.
Tal's JOFC Empire State as well. So there you go, another connection, small world coming together. Very cool.
Well, Juventus Club in New York, pretty much they know.
Vlad didn't know you had a channel, so and he digs your accent. So there you go. Go subscribe.
Thank you. Now you know. Thank you, my friend.
Nice. And you know what? It's actually really nice to have a native Italian speaker as well. Well, just so much is lost in translation, I find, right? And I know Beppe does a lot, but there's just so much. And it's just good to have another person in the community that understands the language fluently and can make a proper translation.
Well, exactly. I do sometimes lives with other Italian YouTubers. So like today, because I have an Italian channel, Rino Juventino. It's only dedicated in Italian, which I find out just today for the second time. They pick me on my last video on OCW. I don't know if you follow that, YouTube where all the YouTubers are. It's called OCW Sport.
I have not. No, I will look it up.
Yeah, well, there's Copo Gobo, all the top YouTubers, and they picked me. Because like after the interview, what they do after all the games, they picked the YouTubers, which I was surprised they picked me.
Oh,
So yeah,
very cool.
yeah,
All right,
you can look it up.
I'm at their channel now, looking them up. Very cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you
OCW.
know. Yeah, OCW. Yeah, there's like Copo Gobo, Romeo Agresti, Neschio.
Okay,
Maybe
they're all
Pep is
part
there
of that.
sometimes when he does the Italian content, but yeah.
Okay.
There's a bunch of funny YouTubers who mocks Juventus, mocks Inter, it's all in fun.
And it's
But crazy
in
YouTubers.
Italian. And it's in Italian.
In Italian.
Yeah.
But you will like it because you see their reaction, you know what I mean?
Okay,
It's
very
fun.
cool. Well, you know what? Because we can, why not share that screen? OCW.
Okay.
And of course.
Yeah, I was on the first one, but it's on the 3rd minute, I believe. On the first video.
Okay, I'll go back. But I wanna show. Of course.
Oh, that's my channel.
Yes.
Thank you.
Of course. Everyone's got to know. And what was your Italian one?
Rino Juventino. I just started it. Yeah,
Okay.
there I am. That was
There you
my
go.
first. Oh, thank you.
So,
It's in Italian.
go everywhere. Hit him up. Subscribe everywhere. You get the Italian aspect as well. And
If you want to look at this, yeah, but it's like at the
this one
3rd
here?
minute. Yeah, the first one. I don't remember which minute, but okay, after this one.
There you
Yeah,
are.
there I am. Yeah. That's Nesco. He's a good interista.
So I don't know if I'll get copyright strike for
I
this.
don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. If you don't want to, you can take it off. But
Yeah, so I mean, play a few seconds. You get about 7 seconds or so before you get a copyright hit.
really,
I don't know if we
okay,
would
yeah.
for that.
That
but
was
that's-
only a few seconds, that part of mine. So
well,
I
we'll
know
check
with
that
the
out.
StreamYard YouTube world, it's disgusting. But yeah.
Okay, so I think we've strung these guys on a little bit. We'll get the lines open in just a bit. But Dan has said Vlad Sven has got terminal cancer. I did not see that news today. No, that must be. Did that come out today?
Serie clubs. I don't know. Who's that? Who's this guy? Oh, Ericsson?
Then, okay, let's look this up live and see what we get. We do this sometimes. We'll just look up random things that we know nothing about and see what Google tells us.
I don't know. Who's this guy?
Former England
Oh, the news
manager says he
coming
has cancer. Okay.
Oh, a Liverpool fan. Oh, a Liverpool fan.
Okay, so there you go. Benfica, Roma, Fiorentina, Sampdoria. So yeah, he did quite a bit in Italy as well. Mexico, Ivory Coast, Philippines. He got around. Okay, so there you go. Good luck to him. It's looking like it's not great, but
A Swedish football manager. Oh.
Dash saying stop blue balling us to start the show. All right, I better open up the lines. Before it gets chaotic here, Rito, is there any last thing you want to sneak in there before Tal and the crew, whoever else joins us? Sal?
Well, what is there to say? Maybe I don't know.
It's just while the water's still calm is what I'm sort of saying, right? 'Cause the
I don't know if you
link
want
is
to talk
live.
about Inter, but if you want to wait for the boys to talk about Inter, but
Yeah, we'll all get it. We'll all get
wait
angry
all the
about this.
news after.
Well, let's
So-
start talking about Inter, and as people come in, we'll let
Come
them
in.
join the conversation. So, how do you feel about the 5-1 victory over Monza this afternoon?
To be honest with you, like I have no words to subscribe. Like I get it to do the top team whatsoever, but it's too much. So like fall after free penalty, even the they got rid of what's his name, Palladino for no reason. Like it's ridiculous. They are a tough team, but if you give these gifted calls, like it makes you don't want to watch these games anymore. It's ridiculous.
Well, I stopped watching it at the half myself. Sal, how do you feel? How you doing?
What's going on, Dave? Ciao,
Oh.
Rino, come stai?
Bene, tu?
Bene, bene. La partita con Inter oggi era come un bordello, però
È uno schifo, una vergogna,
Sì.
paesano.
sempre,
Veramente una
sempre,
vergogna.
sempre.
This is
It's
the most
ridiculous.
Italian we've had on the channel ever.
Well, we can mix a little bit. It's fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
this is good.
Oh, and I spent the first 30 years of my life in New Jersey before I moved to Southern California. So if you need a Jersey representative, I can do it unless somebody else wants to.
No, you can let that fly. You can bust
Okay.
that out. Yeah.
All right, good, good. Well, yeah, I didn't catch. I only caught a little bit of the games today. I saw that last second shithouse goal from Napoli, which I thought there was like 3 fouls leading up to it, but whatever. And then yeah, Inter's gonna enter. So
They want to gift it. Like
yeah,
even the offside, it was just a tiny bit offside. But it's funny how they double check on favor of Inter like for 5-10 minutes. You know what I mean? Then we're Juventus. Give me a
Yeah.
break. You guys been gifted so much, man. Like
I
I've been positive with him because I even told people, even Nick on the chat here knows me. Yes, with the Napoli game, even though if they had the call for Napoli not given, Inter will still win. Udinese, Inter will still, but now it's enough. Every week, penalty over penalty, enough. It's enough, man. Like I just had enough.
I don't understand why there's even discretion, all that stuff. I mean, you have the line, right? You have the line for offsides. Why don't you treat it like goal line technology? If he's off, he's off. I've seen things
Yeah,
get called
there's
back
like
for
70 cameras.
toenails.
Like, don't tell me that you cannot see. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they call it off for toenails. This one was what, a butt cheek? I don't know how they were exactly determining what the line was, but it was
I know.
ridiculous.
It is.
Well,
what can you do?
You'd think that with the technology exists, and I know we talk about this, we're still using 720p cameras in Serie A, and here I'm trying to say that we have like all this 3D laser technology that can scan like complete 3D objects like human beings and balls and whatnot. But then I remind myself we're still in like 2004 technology. So
It's ridiculous.
I mean, what do
old
we
school.
expect?
It's very old school. It's unbelievable.
It's embarrassing is what it is.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
as far as anybody who was saying, Palladino as a possible replacement to Max, just look at Monza this year as compared to last.
He's had
Before we start doing any sort of,
a bit of a drop off. He was touted to be an exciting new coach coming into the season, especially what he did last season. And the honeymoon phase is over. Reality has set in. Not to say he's a horrible coach, but Monza, and they were missing a couple key players as well today.
Because they got sold from the ones from last year. So
So I mean, what do you want from them? Monza's not a really good team.
Yeah, and I know there was some chatter about Juve being interested in Colpani earlier this year. He had a couple of good showings. It's been a little bit of a drop off between now and then. Plus, I think we've been linked to about 13 other midfielders since then. So we might want to pump the brakes on that a little bit as well until we know a little bit more.
I'm trying to find the article. Where are we? It's just something about the points. Yeah, it's right up here. I already have it up. Of course. Nick saying AIA just put out a chart outlining ref errors. By their calculations, Inter would have 3 less points. But there was also we would have had a penalty. I believe it was the Bologna match. I don't have that particular article up, but I can try to find it. Regardless, and I have said this, that the title race is determined right now by a couple of refereeing errors, missed calls, calls. Like we could be in first and Inter could be in second if the refs suck less. I suppose, is what I'm trying to say, to put it simply. Like, if they just...
Well, if you remember 2 years ago when Milan won the Scudetto, Inter were their favorites too. They had help, but then even though with the help, somehow Milan managed to win. So I wouldn't be too worried. Let's see on Tuesday. Hopefully, we still go behind 2 points and get them scared. And somehow they're gonna go up ball. Like they're gonna drop big time, man, because they can't always have these favorites. You know what I mean? I don't like to talk about refs, even on my videos when I talk about it, even though I gave it to them by calling them cartonati because they are cartonati. But then after these last 2 games, it's just too much, way too much.
So this is the article here. It's from Tutto Sport, which
Okay.
I mean it's not a great source, but at the same time, they don't like Juventus either. So take it for, I always say that, take it for what it is. It's Tutto Sport. Even Rocky admits the mistakes of the referees and the VAR. Juve loses in the balance. 8 mistakes recognized by AIA, from canceling the goals of Inter against Genoa and Verona to Berardi and Malinowski being expelled against Bianconeri, but there should have been a penalty to Bologna in Turin. The audio on Bastoni Duda, blow the whistle for goodness sakes. The designator, but nobody touched my boys. So, and Joe Massey, he's obviously an Inter fan.
He's my friend. He's Interista. Oh yeah, you can sure they would be down 3 points. You guys are funny to watch.
Now this is the thing. Like,
Joe, give me a freaking break, buddy. Don't even start with me. You guys are saying una vergogna. I keep on telling you.
So
this guy, he's a good guy, but when it comes to Inter, you know, and he always has to come here, always dish it up on Juve. Like seriously,
yeah, because he probably got touched by an uncle, and he's got some underlying issues that he's trying to let out somehow.
Exactly.
I understand what it's like to be Inter, but the point of the matter is if you're gonna come on my channel, especially, and talk shit, you better have your facts. And you're already talking shit, and all I was doing was reiterating a Tutto Sport article.
Gonna push my buttons.
A Tutto Sport article. So go to your Tutto Sport buddies.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the truth anyways. It's Tutto Sport. All I'm like, he's crucifying the messenger, and I hadn't even sent the messenger the message yet. Right?
Cinque Maggio, Joe. Cinque Maggio.
So that's all I'm saying. If you're gonna come here and talk shit,
they are scared.
Back your ass up.
Exactly. They are scared. They are scared because they know they're going to lose the Scudetto for the 1,000th time. Okay? They want the second star for so bad. Sono una vergogna. Well, hey, you started, Joe. Nobody said anything.
I think we are pretty funny, actually. We're quite comical around here. You just came in. You don't even know who we are. You just came and talk shit like that. At least say hello, for fuck's sake. You just kick down the door and say fuck yourself. Like, who are you? Have some manners. Fuck, and you wonder why nobody likes you. Jesus Christ.
And for our non-Italian speaking brethren on the show, Cartonate basically means paper champion. And
Bravo.
And it signifies the Scudetti that Inter count as their own. And they get all excited now because they think one more win gives them a second star, but it should be a quarter star, in my opinion, because they win it on the pitch.
We got the second star how long? 20, 30 years ago, 1980 or something? So these guys are being desperate to get this second star. That's what they're helping them, because they want them to, so they can shut up. They don't get it.
I don't understand. Like, Juve domestically the best. Milan, Champions League, okay, they get that one. Inter,
tripletta.
You're just that weird dude in the corner jerking off watching.
Yeah, a tripletta, right? A treble.
Yeah,
basically
trouble.
That they got post Calapocci, right? Which basically, to me, everything the first couple of years after that is suspect. Because you basically took their biggest competitor and you moved them down to Serie B. And then it took them a couple of years to get back and then win 9 straight after that. Whatever, no big deal. But yeah, you had a tripletta. You had a dubious tripletta. Good. Bravo. There you go. There
Like,
You know what I
nobody-
find real cringe? Since we're trashing on these guys, because I've already trashed on how they introduced Tajon Buchanan because it was a travesty. But the picture, the welcome, like when we do a welcome thing, it's just buddy, black background, whatever. Here's his face. Welcome to Juve. They put these guys in front of their trophy cabinet, which, by the way, fits on a fucking table, which is not impressive. Just saying, when I went there in September, I thought it was massive. This room I walked into, and they just had to make it bigger. What I saw was like the small version of what we have. So it's like, oh, let's flex. Let's throw this guy from Brampton that we made him eat stale pancakes and probably Aunt Jemima's not real maple syrup. And now we're going to throw him in front of our embarrassing trophy cabinet and throw it all over the internet. Like, who's their social media manager? Because he like fucked up 3 times that weekend. all 3 with Tajon as well. And I feel like I'm from the same town as Tajon. I feel bad for him. You're embarrassing him. I hope you're paying him well. Fuck.
Well, I mean, I hope the check's so clear.
Yeah.
But the thing is this, the good thing about Inter, nobody is not saying they're not playing good. But recently, the last 2 games, you can see them drop. They did a good performance in Champions League, and whatsoever. They've been scoring because they have the players. But calma. We have to see against now with Atletico Madrid, and we'll see if they can manage the pressure. If you want to still stay 2 points. Not Interisti, Intertristi. That's what I call them.
Sad, very sad. Yeah.
Yeah, sad Inter. Yeah. That's why I call them all the time, man. I have a lot of friends. They respect me. We go at it, but then when I stop talking to them, oh, Reno, why are you blocked me? Well, you piss me off, so stay away.
You notice how he's quiet. He probably left because, oh, no, here he is. He's back.
Sure, they will.
Oh, no, that's the old one. Sorry, I scrolled up.
No, it's okay. Tomas,
no.
Okay.
I felt like he should be back to defend himself, but he's not.
Exactly. He's probably going to work right now, so who knows? He's okay.
I don't care what your excuse is. If you're gonna talk shit, stay long enough to get the shit.
He's just doing that to piss me off. If he knows he put okay, laugh out loud, so he's okay. There's people worse than him, so.
An Interista with a job is a good thing, or else you'd be Nima. So,
He's got like internet things.
Oh man, he's still here. Are you still there,
Jose?
Joe, come on, fight Bravo, Joe. Mamma mia.
Oh, he's yeah.
Fight Bravo, Joe. You're asking for it, Joe. Am I gonna be in trouble? I guess I'm going to be in trouble.
Well, why don't you join? Let him join. Hit that link. Come on in.
If he wants to join, Joe, there's a link there. Why don't you join for a little bit if you're not busy?
Giuseppe, stiamo aspettando.
Oh,
Andiamo.
man.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to speak dialect. Andiamo.
Where are you from?
Me, originally, I was born in New Jersey. My parents are Sicilian.
Oh, Sicilian. That's why you're...
La città si chiama Ribera, lo provincia di Agrigento.
Agrigento, okay.
So it's southwest, basically on the Mediterranean for the most part.
Oh, nice. Io sono abruzzese, from Celano.
Very. Dean Martin, my favorite.
Oh, yeah. Testa dura like a calabrese.
See, I think Dean Martin his family was from Abruzzi.
No, I can't. Or I would.
Or he would. I think he meant, no, I can't, but I would. Well, we're here after every game or every Saturday night. We're here every week, so.
Yeah, anytime, Joe. I'll have to let you come to my show. Not a problem, Joe. I have even Interworldwide come in my show sometimes, but he's okay. Anthony, the Australian guy. He's cool.
Grande Nicola.
Nick. Yeah, lui è siciliano. Yeah, Nick. You guys should meet, Nick.
Unfortunately, I mean, for me, it's tough. If I'd be when I'm on the East Coast, I try to go to Ribalta sometimes to watch the games in Manhattan because there's not a very big Juventino community, unfortunately, in Southern California, at least that I know.
Oh,
it's pretty rough.
Okay.
So
what is this? Oh, geez.
So I posted this in our Discord today. If you haven't read it yet, so Rocky, the head of the referees, he's mad that his men are getting touched. He's the only one that's
I
allowed
heard
to
that.
touch his men. Nobody else can touch his men. He's basically a pimp. Is how he's running this. So and I understand, right? The refs shouldn't be abused or accosted unnecessarily. But let's be honest. They're doing a really bad job as of late. So, and I have to pull out this one quote. Man, where was it? I'm just going to open up the Discord because this article is long. So do read it if you want. It's not really, and it's not like Juve centered or Inter centered or what have you. Like it's just talking about the whole thing, right? And I almost have it. Okay. Roki was quoted in this article saying, "If I am the problem, I can leave straight away." Why is this man not gone?
Exactly. Because he's raccomandado, that's why.
Like, this is like how do you say that and not realize that you're the fucking problem? Oh my god. I don't know. I know Rito said you don't like talking about refs, but I like trashing this man. So
no, well, when it gets to the point, like I said, with Inter, I was honest. They play good, blah, blah, blah. But every time, I know it's not just like today, it wasn't just the Inter game, even the Napoli game. But we're hearing even from Spain, Premier League, like they need to do something. But with the Inter's case, like Max Allegri says, il VAR è una cosa soggettiva, you can tell that something's fishing there. So I don't know what to tell you, man.
There needs to be a way to sort of balance out the subjectivity, right? Like you were saying, and make it more objective. I think on one of the last lives I was talking about, instead of having, a crew there, you have to have like a kind of like a central command sort of thing, like they do in American sports, right? Whether it's NFL or MLB. You could have a game in California and a call's getting reviewed at a center in New York that's doing all the games, right? Or you have to have, I think even, some other things that we do, it started with the NFL and now it's an MLB, is you get a challenge. If something is that egregious that you think like, no, you need to look at this again, I disagree. That way somebody can take a look. But, I mean, these games are already going to 120 minutes, unfortunately, sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like you're going to make it. Eventually, we're going to get commercials if we keep up in this, if we keep up in the time. But what else are you going to do? Like it's bad. It's a bad look all around.
Joe,
I know it's not just Italia, Joe, but what's happened with us, it's pathetic, bro. It is really bad.
Listen, he's stereotyping himself again with this defeatist mentality. Oh, it's bad everywhere. So that's an excuse to be bad as well? Oh, this guy's a piece of shit. I must be a piece of shit as well. It's cool. No.
Nobody should complain. Nobody should complain. If we're all pieces of shit, whatever.
Man, are you a government worker or something? You're just leaning on your shovel? Yeah, man. I got this. $35 an hour, bro. Fuck yeah.
But we're talking about it. I know what you mean. But they have to find some way to. Sorry.
The product in Serie A, it's tough. We can't even get $700 million for somebody to pick up our contract, and then you throw on top of that bad refereeing. At least with EPL, it's shit, but a lot more people are watching it, right?
Exactly.
So they're still getting, you know what I mean? For us, it's whatever. And then if you're telling me that this isn't also going to hurt, attractability when investors want to come in, to try to get us broadcast higher, like I don't see how that's a win for anybody at all.
So next thing, the game is naturally subjective. Challenges won't do anything, but 20 referees in a room, 10 will say one thing, 10 will say the other. I've watched that many times in training. Understood, but now they're putting in objective technology. but they're still treating it subjectively. So it's a failure. It's a systematic failure of how they've implemented the technology and the rule set.
I don't know how subjective you could be to an elbow to the face, though.
And yeah, some of them are like out and out, right? Yeah, some is very unsubjective.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, they'll catch man. Don't get me wrong. I wish he got a red card every game he played. They caught Mancini slapping, what was it, Ravella? In the Rome game? They caught that, and they gave him a red. Okay, fair enough.
So, and what the problem is as well, Nick, to just elaborate a little bit, is that if overall things are okay, we understand that people are human. There is subjectivity. Things happen, mistakes happen. But when it's clear and blatant and happens constantly, you lose that excuse. And it just becomes a travesty. It's a goddamn train wreck. And at what point do you just stop making the excuse and fucking fix it?
It's ridiculous.
It's honestly, I just, and it's a shame that we're talking about that, right? Because nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah, you want to talk about culture, but then we're talking about this porqueria, it's bullshit.
Look who rolled in here. Dash, how's it going?
You didn't even give me a minute. You just threw me into the fray. I was just going to say hi. Damn.
I'm firing tonight.
Dave's like, all right, I see his name. All right, cool. I just thought I'd come in and share my 2 cents because I am stuck waiting for a truck to relieve me because there is lots of fire and down power lines all over the place. So I have to babysit this area. So nobody gets zapped. Cool. That's why I'm not here.
Are you that government worker leaning on your shovel right now?
I'm actually inside my truck, so it's cold as shit. I mean it's 0 degrees Celsius currently, and the wind chill's far below that. It's an absolute frozen tundra out here. It's like the NFL Kansas City Chiefs game, just as bad.
Don't be scared to use Fahrenheit, Dash.
No, be very scared.
Dave gets pissed if I use it. He's like, you're such an American using Fahrenheit.
Well, because you're the only assholes in the world. Like, get over it already.
Well, just like we use inches, just get on our level because guess what?
That makes even less sense too.
Okay,
let's do everything divisible by 12. Fuck 10. Let's do 12.
What has a better ring to it, Dave? An 8-inch donger or
I'll be right back, guys. Just 1 sec. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem.
So you're telling me it's Z Celsius right now, Dash? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're really being technical. Z. He says Z Celsius. It's a
Z is dumb. That one's dumb. Nobody should say Z ever. It's a stupid letter.
Reminds me of Pulp Fiction. I can't get it out of my head. Zed's dead, baby.
He's like, say that one more time, motherfucker. What?
Oh man, this is the third show in a row. I think we had the movie quotes. We're on a row.
Yeah, and we're gonna keep it running, motherfucker.
Jesus Christ, man, you must have had a long day.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I had a bunch of people that are like, "Hey, we've got wires down," and it's like, no, those are telephone cables, not power wires. Oh
man,
well, there's a questionnaire when you report it, and it's like, "Hey, is it energized? No. Do you still have power? Yeah. It's not your power line."
Yo, people are so dumb. So at the airport, right? Obviously, I'm in aviation, so I know better, right? Plane's delayed, and there's the old ladies that are staring out the window, and they see the ground crew come out, and they put the grounding cable up to the aircraft, and they're like, "Well, no wonder it takes so long to fuel the aircraft. Look how thin that thing is." I'm like, you have to ground the aircraft, and then you put the fuel in that 3-inch hole.
Sounds like a Saturday night.
Yeah, but it's just like this because they thought the 1/4-inch cable was how they delivered fuel to the things. Like, shake your head. You're dumb.
That's how.
So I'm gonna pull us back because I segued us, and that's my fault, and I take responsibility for it.
It's Colin. It's your fault. Yeah, the Colin does this all the time.
I know, except I don't have a cigar and I'm not bald, unfortunately. I'm balding, but not bald. So back to baldingness, the referee association. So I think one of the things that I think really is the bane of existence for football right now is VAR, right? Because back then you didn't have a safety net, and referees are using VAR as essentially a safety net, where it's like, well, this call is kind of we got VAR for that, and then it's like if you don't use VAR, and then it's it looks. I think VAR magnifies calls or certain things 10 times as worse, but at the same time, VAR has essentially become that safety net. It's the same thing with the NFL, right? Where you have a guy completely whiff the fact that number 68 was eligible, but they whiff calls and stupid things like that because they think instant replay is going to bail them out. But the thing is everyone's saying, well, referees suck everywhere and blah blah blah. Guys, Italian referees had prestige. They had prestige whenever there wasn't an Italian team playing in a Champions League final. 8 out of 10 times it would be an Italian referee reffing the Champions League final.
World
Even
Cup
an
too.
international,
Yeah.
World Cup as well.
Yeah, yep.
Like there was a time, and I think Rocci was probably the last one that reffed an international final, but Italian referees were held to a very high standard. It might be because of Colina or whoever, but it's blatantly obvious. Like the quality of what Italian refereeing is gone down drastically. It's not that good. And like we can sit here and say X, Y, and Z, and we have VAR and we have goal line technology and yada yada yada. The less responsibilities you take away from an official, the more susceptible they are to not taking it seriously in a sense. It's like, for example, you work at a job. You have task A, B, C, and D. And to do all of it right, like to have a good overall performance, you need to do A, B, C, and D correctly. Where it's like now with VAR, goal line technology, offside lines, markers, the whole shebang, you've essentially taken B, C, and D away from the officials and essentially let it up to VAR. So the official has just to do A, and you would think, hey, all he has to do is do A, right? He can't mess that up. But the referee says, well, shit, everything else is covered. If I fuck up, it's covered. And that's kind of the mentality that they're doing. Because, like, for example, since when does a linesman miss that elbow that Bastoni gives? Or even a shoulder check? The referee, the linesman would say, hey, look, I see something here. Hold on. Something's not right here. Stop play instantly. Where it's like now, linesmen are trained to not call anything on the pitch because of VAR. Delayed offside, right? Referees will not call the offside until either the play is dead or VAR says, hey, we got to look at this. So it removes an edge of sharpness that linesmen have. Because if I saw this tweet and I thought it was interesting where people are like, well, the linesmen virtually do nothing, so why not have 3 refs jog on the pitch at the same exact time? Yeah, so, do you not understand spacing and you can only fit so many players on the pitch? So you add an additional 2 players, you're going to have a lot of referees eating balls to the face. So, unfortunately for Rocci,
I'm okay with
his
that.
refs are going to get touched. His
Only if
refs
it's
will be touched. His referees will be touched. So, look, and this might be a little bit of an outrageous or a hot take. You want to see an improvement on refereeing, you just take VAR out of the game.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would agree with you, Dash, on that one. I think people would rather have it be exactly. It's like, all right, well, then it is what it is. And then on top of that, too, I just to expand a little bit on one of the points that you were making about, some of the refs on the pitch being like, oh, hey, we're covered. A ref on the pitch in a high emotion game at a crucial point will feel less inclined to make a call that they think will turn a whole team and a whole stadium against them. And what they can say is, VAR didn't say anything. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it takes away accountability, 100%.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Let's move away from the reffing.
Yeah, from the drama.
Yeah, before everybody stops watching. These guys are pessimistic over here. What's wrong with these teams and movers? They just whine about referees and yeah. So I'm gonna just
I don't complain, but when there's stuff to say, I'll tell it. I say what it is. Same with Juventus. If there's a call, non-call, luckily I have my friend Nick. He would tell me what it is. Then I explain. I did some videos like the Pulisic handball with Milan Genoa. He gave me the explanation. I explained my thoughts about what happened there. But unfortunately, once the game is done, they got to get the 3 points, and you can do nothing about it. So
look, all I'm going to say is this. VAR calls, handballs, dirty balls, nutty balls. All I'm going to say this is Juventus domestic double this season. It's a lock. I don't give a damn what the little snaky boys want to say and slither and do all this other baloney. But we're going to come in there and we're going to make them the Michael Jordan meme face. I'm going to take Simone Inzaghi's face and turn it into the Michael Jordan meme face because it is
another
going to happen.
Chimba. So we all remember what happened. So it's coming.
It's not even going to be then. They're going to choke earlier and then we're just going to cakewalk it. I'm telling you, they're going to fumble. They beat Monza 5-0.
We're going to see.
Great.
We're going to see. Well, they have a match next week against Lazio for the Supercopa. And plus, they got the end of the month with Atletico Madrid. So we'll see how long they can last. Because if Lautaro is not there, Inter's done. I'm sorry. So
look, and also, I think Lautaro might have got jinxed because they posted about Lautaro being the best striker in Europe. IFTV did. So usually whenever they post something big like that, the opposite happens. The Palladino,
yeah, exactly.
The Palladino has officially crumbled, and I'm not going to say his name, but I say the best coach in Europe is the flavor of the week at this point. All of his coaches have fumbled badly.
Marco.
Yep.
I'm sure my whole desktop.
Is that Bonucci? Whatever. Is that Bonucci?
That's a twerker right there.
It's Bastoni.
Oh, I thought I was like, is that a Bonucci saying?
Yeah, that was the determination of the onside. But again, it's just like
go ahead, Dave.
It just changes every week.
I got you. So LJJ is asking here, do you think VAR would be better if the coach can challenge it like American football? The problem is it's Italy, and I think it would just be a huge mess. Like a huge mess. And then Vincenzo, I tried listening to what they said, and like my issue is this, right? I have an issue. This is where Dave and I get irritated with stuff, where it's like, if you can say something sucks, no one's gonna hark you on for it. The issue that I have is Max Allegri sucks, and I don't think his style can get us to where we need to go. So then let's break down the argument. Let's break down the statement. What style sucks? You can't build from the back. Okay, do you know how Juventus currently build their plays? No? Well, again, it's lack of intuition, lack of researching certain topics. Because when you're a podcaster, a social media guy, or anything like that, or even if you work on a sports show, you need to do your due diligence, man. Because that's one of the things where I get irritated because you have young, impressionable fans that are neutrals or young kids that are finally getting into what calcio really is. And then you hear stuff like this that have no basis or no claims to what they're saying. And it's extremely frustrating because it's like, for example, even last year, the amount of times on the street, if I'm wearing Juve gear, haha, you guys are cheaters because ESPN said so. Okay, let's see what ESPN or Paramount Plus are saying. Oh, they're saying stuff that's not factually true or makes sense. And it's like, I get irritated and it's one of those things, right? Where you look at stuff like that and it's just like, come on, guys. Like, we got to be better. We got to do better.
So they're essentially the Fox News of Serie A.
Pretty much. I would say CNN because
they're both the same level of shit, are they not?
There's dirt. There's the worms underneath the dirt. The worms manure. The manure's manure. Gravel. Sandstone. And then CNN's vetting sources.
All right, so I'm gonna bang out just a couple of news points today because they're relevant for today. If anybody wants to elaborate on any of it, please do. But from Fabrizio Romano, Juve have finally sealed all the documents for Vasilij Adzic. Vlad, keep me honest if I said it right. Deal done. Here we go. Now confirmed. Understand, Adzic will fly to Turin on Tuesday, medical book and contract signing on Wednesday. Adzic would be at the Juve Stadium for Juve Sassuolo. Done and dusted. He'll be in the stadium. Yeah. So there it is. It kind of quietly rolled out today. Anybody want to add on to that one?
It's a big next gen move. I mean, that's really what it is, right? It's you got to restock the next gen. We took away too many players from it. They need some good youth. They need some good young legs to go in there and start reinvigorating. Because
which we
either
have some of them. So
exactly. I mean, we've pulled.
hopefully,
I want to say we've pulled 7 to 8 players from the next gen and incorporated it into the first team, or we've loaned them out. So about 8 or 9 assets. So this is one of the things that folks also need to understand. Just because they are in the next gen does not mean that all of them are going to be bona fide Juventus starters. Dragusin, it wasn't going to be that guy. So let it go. He's gone.
I know.
Move on. So there's going to be other players, possibly Baranechea. We don't know. It's just speculation, right? Don't fall in love with all of these youngsters because at the end of the day, all of them can possibly be plus Valenzas, but at the same time, if you can incorporate a good chunk of them, awesome. But look, it's a smart business strategy. Pump in youngsters, bring them out, loan them out, sell them out. It works. That's how you can get fast cash at this point if you do not have the Saudi money in your bank.
And it's good to use for plug and play, right? I mean, Baranechea, when we were slim in midfield last year, he popped him into the Derby della Mole. You know, I mean, yeah, he didn't wind up. He only played, I think, 2 or 3 games, and then we wound up loaning him to Frosinone. But that also helps you with when you're in a pinch, right? It's a great depth piece option to have. So yeah, the more we can do, especially and I like seeing these deals get done, even though Tognozzi's gone, because you're showing some continuity there. Even though I'm not saying that Tognozzi is going to be easy to replace, far from it, right? That culture, right, is still there. The mandate is still there from the board, which is good.
Yeah, and I mean, like for example, with Noge, right? He came in, he filled in for Rabiot the past couple of games. Did that? I thought he did well. Hans Nicolucci filled in, did well. Ealing came in for Kostic, filled in. He can do better, but still, he got the job done. That's 3 players that are doing that right now. Hoyson right now stepping up and filling in for Roma, which I thought, again, I love the move, and I still think the move's a great move. Soule as well, even though I think Soule needs to work a little bit on his shot conversion over there because he's only got 4 non-penalty goals in 40 shots. I think that needs a little bit more fine-tuning, but it's okay. Why? Because he's at Frosinone. You can take all those shots you want. You're not going to get scrutinized for it because what's Frosinone's expectations? Don't get relegated. That's it. Not challenging for Europe, not trying to get into the Conference League, none of that. It's fine. Moise Kean, if he goes to Fiorentina, if he goes to Monza, wherever he goes, it's fine. He can get some touches. It's not because he's a flop. He just needs some time and he needs touches. He's only 23 years old. Average age of this Juventus squad is 25, people. So we got to remember that. It is okay. Do not freak out.
All right, so I stumbled upon this from Roma Press. Newcastle prepare a huge proposal for Paulo Dybala.
Wow.
What? Big.
But he won't last
big
long. He's always injured, man.
The Premier League will cut him in half.
Mm-hmm.
What's the big proposal? His 13 million release clause?
Well, it's 12. It's 12. That's the thing. Like, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, first
to
of all,
Newcastle of all teams. Yeah.
So it must be the wage proposal. That's all. Because otherwise, like, what? They're going to offer Roma more than 12? They're the first team to knock on the door. Just spend the money. It's 12 million. You're Newcastle. Just go. Use them as a water boy.
I just thought of this. What if you played Paulo Dybala's career in reverse? Starts off at Newcastle, works his way to Roma, goes to Juventus, then retires at Palermo. That's actually funny.
Palermo Dybala is still one of my favorite Dybalas. I was so stoked when we got him. It was deadly.
Unfortunately, he got absorbed into the TikTok world and never kept his body in shape.
All right, speaking of Palermo, Ranocchia to Palermo, close to an agreement. So not 100% just yet, but the signature of the midfielder that will time to Palermo for the next 5 years, that's 29 now, is expected between Monday and Tuesday. The agreement between the 2 clubs was defined on the basis of a loan with an obligation to buy at 4 mil plus 1 bonus. Cagliari and Verona tried, but didn't make it. And that's from Mirko Di Natale.
Which I think is fine, right? Because when you have Dragostin and you have Ranocchia being sold, and you're still getting those 5 to 6 million, I believe you're going to get what, 6 million overall from both of them, 6 or 7.
With the
I can't
loan
do
fee.
math because I can't do math right now, but look, it's fine, right? You're getting some capital gains. You're making some stuff. Like, I mean, obviously Ranocchia, you're not going to get much for him. I mean, the fact that you got it, Tony, I got you.
Great man trim.
So
I think we would want Palermo making it into Serie A. We want them getting promoted from Serie B. That's Man
like them
City.
back.
That's Man City ownership, right? They're part of the Man City group.
That's true.
They will have to upgrade their squad, and we could actually have a team in Serie A that wouldn't mind splashing around some cash to make an impact. I'm all for it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Start selling off.
I'm all for it. I mean, even then, you hear $4 million to us. That's a lot for a Serie B team. $4 million for a player like that.
That's
and then when I saw it was Palermo, I'm like, okay, makes sense. So let's get them promoted, please.
Yeah, because like that's really like at the high end, right? Because Serie B can't afford players more than 2 or 3 million. It's outrageous, and I mean it's kind of sad. And I think Dave's computer just died, so he'll be back.
Roma can't afford a $4 million player right now.
I know. No, I know. No, that's true for sure. But you okay, buddy?
Me?
Yeah, you like disappeared for a minute.
Yeah. It's my browser being silly. Things are silly.
This technology is una caca. I hate it.
I'm
using my phone. I can't wait to buy a nice computer once I move out and have a bigger place. So we'll see.
You're from like the land of imported computer parts over there in Vancouver. They all come off the boat there.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that's what I heard. Hey, relax there.
But I think the one thing right now is we have a couple of questions that we have to answer, right? It's going to be Giallo, whether or not that's going to happen or not.
This week, I'm thinking
Lazar, if he's going to be a move or if it's not going to be a move, because from what we've seen, and I think what Misak reported in the Discord this morning, it's gray smoke, not white or black smoke.
So, and this is the latest. This is the latest on that as well. It's doable, but only through a loan formula with an option to buy and an obligation under defined conditions. If Udinese is open to the formula, Juve might get the deal done.
I see. So that means Giuntoli wants to keep it vague as far as the conditions, which is smart business from Giuntoli. So let me break it down for you folks. When you have defined conditions, you are locked to those conditions, and Udinese can stipulate the decision. So Udinese could say appearances, which doesn't matter if he starts, as long as he touches the field, that counts as an appearance. That's more than likely going to be the case for the conditions, where Giuntoli wants it vague per se, where he can have like starts X amount or does this or does that, or for example, Juve won the Scudetto or something like that, when you have a vague, because they want to do like a vague setup as far as the purchase. The reason why, and this is where I want to give hats off to Giuntoli for wanting to be vague on it, it gives him a way out if he doesn't pan out. Because what was the issue that we had with all of the previous tenants of Juve, even with Morata? Because as much as people love him, at the same time, he brought in some busts at the same time that we couldn't liquidate. So I think Giuntoli is trying to organize it to the point where we're not stuck with him. Because, like, for example, we had players that we took on loans, but we were stuck with them regardless, whether or not, because of the definitions and how it was defined. So I think right now with Lazar, I think that's what he's waiting for. And then I wanted to answer this question because someone posed it in the Discord this morning about how would Lazar fit in our system. Lazar is an 8. He's not a 10. He's not a number 10. He plays box to box. He's a more technical offense. He's essentially a skinnier and technical version of McKennie. Like that's pretty much what Lazar is if I were to give you a high level breakdown.
It wouldn't,
Lazar,
in sense, what do you say would be like the Pogba replacement? Not at the same level, obviously, but like that kind of role.
You can't have a Pogba replacement if he comes back. Hit the X-Files music. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I
I'm
hope
kidding.
not, please.
I'm
No
kidding.
Pogba. Per favore. Let's get
You
rid of this
guys
guy.
know I made that reel. I edited it to the point where you could tell it was a gag, and people on Instagram still got pissed. I was reading the comments, and they're like, there we go. Like, I'm like sitting there reading the comments. I don't want that bench warmer that causes so much drama. I'm like, dude, Dave's wearing a freaking tinfoil hat with sunglasses. If that's any indicator that that's a gag, I don't know what is. Some people just need to smile. Have some fun with your life. God damn, you're so miserable. We all know he's not coming back.
But if he does, just what drama?
We called it here.
Okay, a couple little more points, and then I promise the main topic. So quickly, Chiesa and Rabiot are looking like more of a doubt for Tuesday. Not
Really?
good. Yes.
We got to beat Moza, man.
Sassuolo. You mean?
I'm sorry.
Because Monza was Inter.
I
Yeah,
got confused with Sassuolo because we have to give it to them at least 4-0. Cazzo. Hopefully the young kids can do something about it.
But speaking of Monza, Keane is apparently fully open to Monza, but Fiorentina should still be taken seriously. So maybe Keane. I don't know. I kind of feel that this is like this. Yeah, you prefer, sorry?
I said I prefer Fiorentina.
Yeah.
Just they have way more games to play. Like this kid, like I think Dash mentioned it a couple of lives ago. Like he needs reps.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get that muscle memory up. Need him out there. Take 20 million shots and miss. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
You know
no,
what I mean?
think he'll do. I think he'll do well there.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But it's just the fact that this news is almost an everyday thing now. Good chance that it might just happen. I got that feeling. And then finally, there were rumors about Saul from Atleti, but Atleti don't want to move him. So that one seems dead in the water.
There's no weight to that. I think the main thing that people want to talk about, and what is really weird is the whole Henderson thing, right?
Absolutely. I've been dangling.
Yeah.
Just dangling that carrot.
Dangling it for me, daddy. But I understand both, right? I understand both situations to it. I think some of the people are making the argument that it will take time for him to adjust to Serie A. Guys, I don't think so. I hate saying this, but Premier League midfielders boss Serie A midfielders like it's nobody's business. They do. It's an honest fact. It's an honest truth. I do think, though, however, my only concern is, can his body keep up at this point? Because I know he went to Saudi, and it's kind of like, I'm retiring in a sense, but I guess maybe he still thinks he's got enough to in the tank to kick it. So that might be the reason why.
I don't know. I'm kind of concerned about him.
I think it's a low risk, high reward move. From what I'm hearing, loan, no obligation to buy, 1.5 mil net for a possible depth piece. Like, okay.
Yeah, but for 6 months I get it, but I hope it's not like Di Maria. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because that's the thing. Allegri likes the old guys. You know what I mean? I hope we get some Mamazic in the summer, or maybe Lucky in January, because they're saying probably in the summer. Maybe Sorpresa on January, because when it comes to these Italian teams, they always want us to pay them off right away. You know what I mean? There's always an excuse. It's bullshit.
Yeah. So let me play devil's advocate here. I think the one reason why he needs an older guy in the midfield is because Rabiot is his only oldest guy in the midfield. Everybody else is south of 26 years old. They're all fairly young, and with all due respect to McKennie, to Locatelli, to all of them, when it comes to club competition, they really haven't won anything outside of Rabiot. Because like Hans hasn't won anything. Yildiz technically is classified as, I'd call him as a midfielder in a sense.
You have Rabiot, Danilo.
Weah. I mean, maybe that one Ligue 1 with Lille, but like there's not outside of our roster. I mean, is there anyone outside of Danilo and Rabiot that have won the Scudetto besides Szczesny and Perin? Yeah, Szczesny and Perin. So people can say,
Rugani.
yeah, Rugani. I forget about
Yeah,
him.
as a
Forget about it. He's
That's
become
please,
Kyle
though,
George.
right?
Like, oh fuck, he's still there. No, I think though, because like for example, yeah, Rabiot won the World. I think he won the World Cup in 2018. I'm not too sure. Fact check that for me. But Henderson's done it all in club football, and to discount that is kind of disingenuous, right? Because like for example, when Liverpool was hot, he was their captain. He was the main guy. So you need a big, and what is Allegri like, right? Big, strong, physical players. And, when you don't have Rabiot for a game, because yes, you have the streak of Rabiot essentially being an Iron Man. But what happens if Rabiot goes down, guys? We drop substantial quality when Rabiot's not on the pitch. I'm not having the huge expectation on Henderson to be a baller and, carry the team to the title or anything like that. But like I said, if Rabiot goes down, who's going to fill that role? McKennie?
It could just be because Rabiot does 90 minutes constantly, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like, hey, he only has to do 75 minutes today. We got Henderson.
Well, that, and then also, for example, what's our biggest concern with Moretti? He gets knocked off the ball easy. Same thing with Yildiz, right? So when you're playing a physical midfield, and again, next season, we're going to be back in the Champions League. You're going to be playing more competitions, more physical, stronger players. As much as I am very happy with the young players that have grown and developed, unfortunately, we cannot pump them with testosterone to make them yoked because they will all get suspended, right? So I think you need to have a little bit of balance, right? We need some physical guys. Because, like, for example, our back line, all of those guys are tough. Like, with 3 Fs, they're tough.
Yeah, they are.
The midfield, outside of Rabiot,
Kaka.
maybe Locatelli. I mean, I understand McKennie, but McKennie's essentially an auxiliary right wing back and right midfielder at this point. But, like, for example, if you have Hans, if you have Moretti on the midfield, even Fajoli when he comes back, those guys are tiny. They're small.
Yeah, you're missing like a pit bull. You're missing like a Vidal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're missing just a dog in the middle of the park.
So I'll show and I'll show the actual article for everyone here as well, just so everyone has the latest on it. So tomorrow there will be a meeting between Henderson and El Atikaf to concretely discuss the transfer in January. He earns around £350,000 per week, approximately 90 million euros per year.
That's a lot.
So we weren't initially interested, but are now evaluating to be followed clearly, but the road is not yet downhill.
Yeah, that's hey, Saudi, can you pay like 90% of his salary and we'll get the other 10? That's what the reevaluation phase is.
Yeah, the source I put it in the I forgot who the source. Yeah, the source that I put in the transfer channel was, from what I heard, was dry loan, no obligation, 1.5 mil net. That's the source I saw.
Okay.
And with that, those numbers, like, sure, why the hell not? It's better than, and it's because Calcio Twitter was having a meltdown over this, especially J Twitter, saying they were trying to compare him to Ramsey. I'm like, there's absolutely no comparison with Ramsey.
That's the first thing I thought of, though.
Right, but Ramsey was a free. Right, which is one of those things. If we're going to criticize Marotta about stuff, he fell too in love with free transfers. Yeah. But the problem was the free transfer got blunted because you were giving them ridiculous guaranteed money, and Ramsey was earning a lot of money to do nothing. Henderson, loan, no obligation, 1.5 mil. To me, it's like no brainer, dude. No brainer.
So where did you put that article in the Discord?
It wasn't it wasn't an article. It was the Discord, the news and transfer channel. I think it was a little earlier today with Henderson. Yeah, and it was, I think, Sky, may have been like Sky Italia or something like that. But yeah, it should have been in there. It was earlier today.
Okay, I think do you? Sorry, I do see it here.
Okay.
Yeah, 1.5. Alfredo Padula.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So, let me be clear with this though. If he is like a last minute option and the deal is financially, it makes sense. I'm fine with it. But if Henderson is your first target that Gentili and Allegri agree on, I'm kind of like,
It's
that's all
obviously
you
not,
got?
right?
That's
So
all you got?
what I'm thinking is they want Samardich in June, just because of the money aspect of it. Like right now,
Yeah,
the money isn't really
with those
flowing.
delays.
Yeah. So if they can plug this hole just to reinforce, it might make sense. Maybe. I'm not still convinced, but I don't know. We'll see how it develops.
Samar just sounds more like a June thing, I guess, because Udinese is going to get upset. They think Gentili hijacked the deal for them, so they're not going to get as much. And
What happens when you play with the big boys?
Yeah, that's it. And I'm okay with June too. Like if we don't get him now, we get him for June. Like,
No, I'm
totally
okay as long as
with
we get him.
as long as we get him, exactly.
Then we have to see if he will benefit Allegri, because then who knows what's going to happen, right?
Allegri's
see.
staying. I don't care. Allegri's staying.
Does
He ain't
anybody?
going anywhere.
Oh, you like Allegri?
I'm an Allegri
I'm
guy.
sorry. I'm always good for a change. So until I don't see a signature, I'm not going to believe. Well, the
we're
same
sticks in
thing
the mud.
rumors are saying about Conte might come, but if there's no signature, I'm like, for me, it's about the time to change. You know what I mean? So everybody can say whatever. I know a lot of people attack me when I say something about Allegri, but I say it in a good, loving way. That's all. Like, I want to change. That's just me. If it doesn't happen, pazienza. As long as they can bring the big boys for Allegri, hopefully compete better in the Champions League, then I'll be happy. Because we need some new faces, guys. That's just me.
Yeah, we have tons of new faces though. And,
I'm worried
and
about
Daddy
what
Allegri.
faces are available. Yeah. Which
Daddy
one?
Allegri's
Who?
got to raise the youngins up.
Who? I don't see anybody that would come in that I think would be an upgrade. Unfortunately, that's just me.
Well, they're saying Conte, maybe Motta.
Conte, please.
So
please.
here's how we got to break this down. Here's how we got to look
No,
at this, right?
I don't mind Motta. You can give it a try, as long as you give him the chance. But my dream is Zidane and Klopp, if you want to be honest. But are they going to bring them? No, of course not.
My dream is Zidane goes to the national team. Deschamps returns. If there's any return I wouldn't mind, it's Deschamps. Bring Deschamps back. Let Zidane do his thing at the France national team for a little while. And then eventually one day we get Zidane. And that's fine. But other than that, I don't see anybody else to me who I think would be available is a downgrade. Personally,
I think one of the things you have to take into account for is, like, for example, the time that you change a coach or you change anything in general is when your team has plateaued, you're stuck at a plateau, and you don't know what to do to move forward. Right now, as much as people don't want to admit it, the team it's trending upward. This team has not plateaued. I think this team can only get better at this point as all of the pieces are coming together. And for me, from my coaching experience, you don't stop something that's working correctly right now, because I've made this argument. I said, look, our forwards aren't getting it at this moment. They're not gelling. It's not working right now because they're just out of form. Where it's like, for example, nobody anticipated McKennie to improve. Nobody anticipated Yildiz to really break through as well as he has. All of these pieces are now starting to fall together because, like, for example, when we started the beginning of the season, we had a lot of question marks, right? How is Timmy Weah going to play as a right wing back? Is Cambiasso going to be able to take a step up or even play well, right? We had that question too. Is Gatti going to improve from his freshman season? Is Bremer going to improve as well? Is Kostic still going to be one-dimensional? Spoiler, yes, he is. Is Dusan Vlahovic going to finally be an 80 million striker? He's not there yet, but I think he's taking positive strides. Is Chiesa going to take that step forward? He's not there yet, but the issue is like, for example, if all these players are playing to their max capacity and we're still not getting the desired result, then you say, okay, I need to shift this. I need to find something different because this isn't working. Because when Allegri left in 2018, 2019, a lot of people don't want to admit this, but Juve was essentially, they've covered the cusp and they were starting to fall downward. It was the truth, because even though Sarri came in, Juve were progressively worse that Sarri season. And then it just really hit the fan when Pirlo came in. So with Juve replacing, I believe it was Trapattoni with Conte when Conte came in, right? That was the bottom. That was, you could not get any worse than that besides getting relegated. So Conte was a new idea to bring it in and take it up. That makes sense, right? I understand that logic. Same thing with Marcelo Lippi. When he came in, Juve plateaued. They were kind of in the pits. You needed something to reinvigorate it. But for someone to tell me and say that this current Juventus is in the pits without giving me a concise reason to what they're defining as being terrible, I have a hard time buying that stock. I think Allegri is fine for right now. I'm not saying extend him 10 years or anything like that. I think let him finish this season.
1 year, 1 year, that's it. Get out. Get
Let
out.
him finish this.
Not
Let him finish
3.
contract.
He's
Let
okay
him
now
contract.
because he doesn't have. He only has the Campeonato. Then we have to see with the Champions League. Did you guys forget the last year's Champions League? Come on.
Reno, there's
Can I-
6 games difference between Inter and Juve with games played this season. You really think 6 games is going to affect everything that much? 6
Yeah,
games.
it's going to
Inter's only
affect.
played
They
6
affected
games.
last year with the
6
Champions League. That
games.
was the worst Champions League ever, man. Come on.
Okay, but you look at who was playing and who was playing terribly that season.
It was
Pogba
even
wasn't even
him
healthy.
that put the wrong pieces and do this stupid catenaccio. Come on, guys.
Can I say
Catenaccio.
can I add one thing to what you said, Dash? With all the stuff,
Yeah.
as far I totally agree with you. The team's on an ascendancy. You know what else I see that I definitely don't want I don't want getting messed up in terms of club culture. The players love him. They love him. They're playing their asses off for him. They have bought in to what he's doing. He got rid of the guys he thought were not gelling, and it's worked. If the players love him, like for me, the big thing when I think a coach must go is when you think they lost the locker room. That, to me, does not seem to be the case this time.
No,
If the players
because
are buying in, if they're overperforming, if the youngsters are getting integrated and the old players want to help the youngsters and everything is in harmony, why mess with it?
well, and then you look at the adjustment from last season, the worst Champions League campaign ever. What'd you get rid of? You got rid of Di Maria, who wasn't taking the season serious. So you got rid of Cuadrado, who still thought he was 27, but he clearly wasn't. You got rid of Bonucci, who was probably the most toxic member in the locker room, who has an agenda, who has an issue with Allegri. So of course that's going to cause some gelling issues. And then you also had a team that they started as a 4-4-2, and then midway through were like, hey, maybe we try a 3-5-2. Because let's be honest here, Bremer needed to adjust and figure out how to properly defend because Juric is 10 players back behind without any proper defensive skill. Who else did we lost a lot, especially for example, we didn't have Pogba as a creative outlet. Chiesa was with a torn ACL. Chiesa wasn't at full fitness. And even when he came back, he wasn't at full fitness.
He's still not full fitness now.
He's not at full fitness now. But yeah, I understand the 1-0 wins last season. I understand that. But we have games this year where, yeah, we'll win by 2 or 3-0, or we'll have to grind a game out 1-0 or 2-1. The biggest difference between this season and last season is we've gone down, we've come back and won. Last season, we did not do that. The second we conceded, it was game over. So yes, last season was Campionato 1-0 and try to hold it because that's all that they were capable of doing. But this year, you go to Salernitana. Salerno is a very difficult place to play in. You go down 1-0 in the rain, you come back and win. Napoli had very, very tough time with them yet today as well. They managed to scrape a 2-1 result.
At home.
I've always told
home. Napoli.
Okay, but they're being doubted as the greatest Italian team ever. That's what they're saying for them, right?
They're not even the greatest Italian team in Campania.
I know.
Yeah.
So I think
that's rough, though.
I think Allegri tactically has merited enough to finish out his contract. An extension, we'll see after next season. I'm not sitting here, like I said, I'm not making the argument that you need to sign for 4 to 5 years. If it completely crashes and burns next season, then you know it was a 1-season fluke. But you still have to play the games. You still have to simulate the youth. Inter have a bigger squad and a bigger bench than we do. Of course, they're able to handle 2 competitions. Right now, yeah, we have 1 competition, but we have half the squad right now. Because if you think about our bench, who do we have if our main guys go down? Who do we have to replace it? Yeah, we will. So I think it's merited enough. And it's like, for example, it's 6 games difference between them playing and us, and they have twice the amount of players. I don't like that as an argument, because at the end of the day, Inter's not winning the Champions League. I think Inter's going to be out round of 16 or even the quarterfinals max. So that's what, an additional 2 more games? I mean, yeah, they might. You can say Inter doesn't have Coppa Italia anymore, so they can rest some games there. It's just, for me, it's not a fluid argument to base something that, Allegri won the title because of no Europe. I guess you can make that argument. It's fine, but at the same time, we have half the squad that Inter have. They have twice the depth that we have.
No, I get your point. I even said it too. Me personally, I'm talking me myself, Rino Zaurini. I want to change. Punto. That if it doesn't happen next year, because what I know, if Allegri they don't extend his contract, he's not going to stay. So let's wait and see what's going to happen on June. If the guy stays, I'm not going to mow the farm. Like, I'm not going to die. Whatever. Then if he takes me out, I'll tell him Allegri out, like, as always. But
I'm just impressed you let Dash talk for 15 minutes and then replied.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, but every time I talk, he was interrupting me, so now I'm saying my piece.
I think if Max leaves, I think it'll be because he wants to. And if Max doesn't want to stay, then fine. Fair enough. If he thinks he did what he had to do and he goes, like, who am I to get upset, right? You only want him there if he wants to be there, right? But if he wants to be there, he's going to get an extension. Elkin loves him. The board loves him. The players love him. And if he wants to stay, he's going to stay.
Yes, but even last year, they were thinking to get rid of him. He wanted to stay because he didn't want to leave as a perdente, as a loser, correct? So if he wins the Scudetto, maybe he might leave. Because if you notice on the press conference, you don't see the excitement that he has. You can tell by his body language, if you guys notice. Maybe he wants something calm. Maybe he's waiting for the
excitement you see on the touchline.
Yeah, I think he's excited. He's throwing
excited.
I'm seeing he doesn't have that much enthusiasm to do more. Maybe he's waiting for the national team. I don't know.
And fair point. If he doesn't want to stay, then nobody wants him to stay.
Yeah, and that's the only
time. These are all rumors what we're hearing, right?
And that's okay. If he wants,
because people still say about Conte, but we have to see if he's going to accept Milan, which I don't think he's going to accept Milan. We'll see.
I think
do I want Conte? No, I don't want Conte. I'm just saying what I'm hearing.
Conte is not going to take a job in Italy. I think he's going to take a job where they pay him more money, because no one in Italy is going to be able to offer him the money that he's commanding, and as well as the transfer budget.
Apparently he wants Juve so bad, what I'm hearing, because he wants
cocaine ain't cheap. He's got to have to pay the bills.
Though, so if we're going to talk about new faces, I think the one new face that has impressed me with a little bit of the adjustments is probably Italiano. Like, I wasn't his greatest supporter, but I've been watching Fiorentina a lot.
Yeah, even Diego Motta. I don't mind him.
I need to see more.
Dash, are you about to say good things about Italiano?
I am. I am, because I wasn't, because he played.
Well, I did too, but nobody. Majority of Juventina, they don't want Italiano, so I don't know.
Yeah.
No, and I understand why, right? Because
because they want to stay safe. They don't want to change. They want to keep it how it is.
But here's one of the things with Italiano that I've observed recently is Italiano is not afraid to win games 1-0 anymore. I believe he won 3 or 4 games in a row.
So he's our kind of coach.
No. It's not that, right? I think he's starting to distinguish from, okay, there's times where I can play a high line and be reckless, and there's times where I need to sit back and lock it down. Because, like, for example, that Conference League final against West Ham, that was 100% on him. You do not play that high of a line at that result of the game when you tied the game at that point. Lock it down, push it to extra time, unless you are sure you get the winner. I think I've seen that change in his philosophy. Yes, he's been coaching a lot more longer now, per se. And this isn't a knock on Motta, right? I need to see a little bit more from Motta. Like, I want to see him hit a dip of form and see how he recuperates the team. Because, like, for example, Claudio Ranieri, right? Goes into Leicester City, has them playing out of their mind for a season, and then that team falls off a cliff the next season. So this isn't me saying that it's bad, but right now Motta has only had, if you want to count, 3 to 4 months of last season and then what you've seen so far. I think, and this is out of respect to Motta, because I don't want him to get this media pressure that people put onto him for being, the next greatest thing.
He's got can't stop Paramount Plus, and IFTV. That's your too small. You cannot take them on. They will.
That's what she said. That is what she said. So
I agree with that point. I agree with
Yeah.
that point. 120 minutes against Bologna, 0 goals, sub 40% possession, and you win it in PKs. That is growth for Italiano. I'll give you that. And look, I have a soft spot for Italiano. Italiano's his parents are from the same town in Sicily as mine are. So we're paisane. That doesn't mean I want him coaching you. That doesn't mean I want him coaching Juve though. Yet. I'd like to see him win something. I'd like to see him win something. But I agree with you. I think he has shown more awareness in terms of game management. I'll give you that for sure.
Yeah, and like for example with Palladino, if he does take the Roma gig, I think that's going to be a good observation of if Palladino is actually a good coach or not, right? Because like right now Monza's, but you can argue that they don't have the same players. But that's the big thing about a coach, right? And that's one of those things where it's like when you go through a downturn, you miss a player or you lose a player, that's your most important thing. How do you recuperate from it? Because like for example, Italiano lost Dusan and he tried to replicate their attacking footy, but he couldn't. So now he's adjusted. He's learned and said, hey, this isn't a good idea. Let me try to fix this and adjust this. So I think that's where he gets some thumbs up as far as coaching merit goes. I still think he has a little bit more to go, but like as well as the other coaches too, they're promising. They have promising starts, but once coaches understand how they play and they start scheming them, let's see how they adjust there, because it's good. It's easy for a player that's new to something to bust off and go crazy for 6 months, dominating. Everyone's like, oh my God, the greatest thing ever. And then once teams figure you out and start learning to scheme against you, then you turn into Kvaratskhelia, right? Where everyone's like, wow, I guess this guy wasn't really that good because he hasn't adjusted his game. He's still thinking that I'm last season, where now defenders and players understand it. Yes, you can say the system's changed at Napoli, but at the same time, Serie A is one of the most tactical leagues in the world. They study how you breathe. They study how you shit. They study how you eat ketchup. Like, that's how nitpicky Italians are.
Oh, you best not be eating ketchup.
Yeah.
Well, I also, too, like to give him some credit, this is 2 seasons in a row where he's played in 3 competitions. And he's taken Fiorentina far, right? He's taken him to a final in the conference.
Yeah, even though
he's got him in semifinals of the Coppa Italia. He's got him within, I think they're currently in 4th place. So, kudos to him. The most impressive thing is he made Artur look like a good midfielder. So, okay. Even Max
that's worth something.
Max couldn't pull that off. So I'll give him that.
Sal, Vince wants to know which hometown.
Oh, it's called Ribera. It's in the province of Agrigento. It's southwest Sicily, basically on the Mediterranean.
Very nice.
He was born in West. This was time when Germany was still West and East. So he was born in West Germany. His parents emigrated there from Sicily, and then I think he moved back when he was a kid.
Sorry, I'm distracted by the comment, but
yeah.
I love the history. It sounds beautiful. My parents are Calabrese, so I mean, not completely far off, but
yeah.
My wife is Calabrese.
A ferry ride away.
Yeah, not too far. It's
my wife is Calabrese.
Oh,
and I'm abruzzese, testadura, both of us.
Absolutely.
It's a mix.
Absolutely.
Mamma mia. I can't complain.
Oh, I'm sure she's lovely. Bring her on sometime.
Sometime, yeah, if she wants.
Is she a Juventina or no?
Well, she's a Juventina, thanks to me. She came with me at Los Angeles to watch Juventus Milan, the tour. And at the last day, we were at the hotel where the Juventus were. We saw Milik and Danilo with that girl journalist whatsoever. I want to go to Venice Beach. She said no. She just stayed there in front of the hotel. She wanted to get all the autographs. We got the Bremer, Alexandro, and she was more excited than me. Then she gives me a hard time that I'm always on the team.
You were at the preseason game in Milan. I was there too.
The Guy Fieri
game.
The Guy Fieri one.
That game. I live an hour south of LA. So for
me, I was with
the
Hollywood club because I'm with the Vancouver club, so I was connected with them. And yeah, I was even on TV on the Zone at the end. If you see when
nice, yeah.
Juventus win, I
I
have
was
the link
sending-
on my Instagram.
I was sending Beppe photos of the game through Telegram, and he was putting it out. I think he did a live for it. So yeah, it's nice every once in a while to get them out there.
Yeah, well, I was when I got home. People from Italy say, "Sei famoso, stavi in televisione." I was at the Zone, and then I was even on the official Juventus page representing the North American Cubs, which was just me and my wife because the majority of the guys went to the San Francisco. So then it was
the game that never happened.
Yeah, exactly. But I was on the picture on the official page. People from Italy, Grande Rino, sei stato su Facebook official page. I'm famous. I don't know.
You made it. You made it. I love it.
Yeah, it was a good experience. Like I went to De Piero's restaurant.
It's a good
met a lot of
restaurant.
people.
Del Piero's restaurant is very good.
It
I'll
is.
give him that.
I met
Pricey,
Joe
but
Vinco
very
there.
good.
Joe Vinco was there.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
Joe Vinco was there? Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was sitting there.
Yeah. It's called It's called N10. It's West Hollywood-ish area.
Yeah, by
Good
Beverly
restaurant.
Hills.
Good restaurant. Yeah, good
Yeah, I
restaurant.
met the owner, Dario. Well, the manager. He's
Right,
such a good guy.
Yeah, nice place.
Oh, it was good. The food was good. Then we went to the last day. We didn't end up going to watch the train, so we went to Universal Studio. And then from there, we went to the Piero's restaurant, have a salute to the manager, have a few drinks, then call it up the night.
Beautiful.
4 nights,
Nice.
first time Los Angeles. The wife enjoyed it, so it was beautiful.
Very good.
That's nice.
Yeah, with Nick Cardone too. He was with me too, so it was
Very
fun. Very cool. Yeah, good experience. My first time watching a Juventus game because in Italy I never had a chance to watch them.
Nice.
Yeah, Sule scored the winning PK in that game.
Yeah, I think even Chiesa scored too.
Yeah, there we go. It was a good game.
It was
Should've
a
known
good game.
then.
Sad I couldn't meet Chiesa. I heard Chiesa didn't want to do autographs or nothing. I met Calvo. He was such a nice guy.
So
So
Pogba was hanging out on the sideline.
I saw him walking with the McKinney. I
Was
was
he
trying
like-
to have a photo, but he didn't want to do photos and stuff. He was with McKinney. Where, like, I had a video somewhere. I posted it on Twitter, I think. I had to delete it, but it's on Twitter, I think.
Did he just have like a pump bottle of lotion there, and he was just like,
No, he was walking with McKinney, Pogba, Mr. McKinney. Hey, buonasera. Then when he went out with in company with a band in his head, he seemed like some kind of Dubai guy or something. He didn't want no pictures or nothing. So, yeah, De Piero has a restaurant. Yeah.
no, did you meet Del Piero though? He's asking.
Unfortunately,
No, I
not.
wished. He wasn't there.
Yeah.
I saw Chiellini, but Chiellini came to Vancouver. Had a chance to meet him with the Juventus club. So,
That's very cool.
yeah, good experience.
Nice. Oh man, those are some cool stories. We're at that point in the show though, but I'm not going to kill it unless. Do you guys have anything else? Because I've hit all my points, but it doesn't mean that you guys don't have any points. So.
No, pretty much you covered everything. There's nothing much to say until the news come along tomorrow and Monday. So
Yeah, well, a bit of a funny weekend, right? Because we had the game on Thursday. We're waiting until Tuesday, so it's just kind of like transfer rumors. Not too much, but I mean, we got to stay on schedule. We're still going to be here Saturday nights, so we have
nice.
to do it.
I just want to say, Tall was supposed to be here. He never showed.
Where's that bastard?
He's probably taking a nap.
Man, we gotta get. Can we get some younger people around here that don't sleep all the time? Jesus, Christ.
You might be say navigating through the tunnels. Oh, hooky.
He's not even here to defend himself.
He posted. I think was that him who posted that article, or was that someone else?
I can't remember. Oh, it was Sal. This is referencing the tunnels in New York.
Discord,
the
Discord,
synagogue.
Discord. Just go to Discord.
Go to Discord. No live feeds,
man.
please, guys, for my safety.
It's just a news article. So hit that barcode up there, or the Discord link is down in the description. Reno hates the thing, but I don't know. I think
it doesn't work for some reason. So I don't know. I have to retry.
Don't listen. It's a Reno thing. Everyone else loves it. Come
Okay,
join.
whatever. It's my fault.
Hey, everyone else loves it. What can I say?
Alrighty,
It's a
guys.
good time.
I'm out of here. I'll see ya.
Dash is
So
out.
I'm the
Okay.
problem. Okay.
I don't know. Just maybe you do have issues. I'm not sure. But for everyone else, if your Discord does work, please do join in because there's all kinds of weird things happening there. As well as clubs. I forgot to mention that. Clubs, FC clubs, get in, play some games with the guys. On that note, any parting words before I hit this music?
I might be live on my show on Tuesday, so we'll see. I'll keep everybody confirmed.
All right. Okay, I hope so. All right.
Reno, what's the name of your channel, real quick? You said you have one?
Culture with Reno
Couch
Z.
Show with Reno.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, I might have the president of the JOFC, so of North America, John Grow. We'll see.
Nice, great.
So I'm gonna have him at 9 p.m. Eastern time, at regular time, so everybody can watch. I hope. We'll
Can't
see.
wait. All right.
Oh yeah.
So we had our crossover event. Thank you, Reno, for coming on. It was fun.
Thank you.
On that note, everyone, just stay tuned. Me and Dash, if Dash can get out of work, we'll do the podcast tomorrow, and we'll be back at you for the game on Tuesday. Thanks once again to Reno and Sal and Dash for coming in from the work truck. See you later, and Forza Juve.